Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor here. We're back with another rumour. We're back with a short video for this one. We've got Brownie coming on the channel at midday. Shout out to him. Shout out to all of you guys who are going to be there talking to us. There, we're going to be speaking about transfers. We're going to be speaking about Hull City. We're going to be speaking about everything Leeds United. So I'm absolutely buzzing for that. Slap a like on the video, everybody. Make sure you're commenting and subscribing. And that sunshine is out, isn't it? Brilliant to see. I think we've got 3 days of it left. 3 days of it left in the UK, so I'm buzzing about it. But yeah, guys, how are you feeling going into this window? How are you feeling? Well, I should say deadline day, shouldn't I? Deadline week's got to a certain point now, but deadline day tomorrow is going to be fascinating. How are Leeds going to go about this? What do we know? 3.4 million. Lyle Thomas has confirmed that Tanaka will be coming in as a signing for Leeds United in that double pivot position, pending a medical. Great news for Leeds. Really happy about this. Why am I happy about this? I don't think Eli Gruev gets on the assist sheet, gets on the goals sheet as much as he should do. I think he's a very lateral midfielder. I think occasionally we see him getting forward, as we did against Sheffield Wednesday, but then for 60 minutes he'll then sit back. I think he gets off the hook a little bit in terms of what a midfielder should really do. I think Ethan Ampadu is almost a complete midfielder and does what Gruev doesn't in terms of at least getting forward and playing those long arching passes, which I just wish Gruev would do. I think he's a little bit risk averse. Rothwell isn't risk averse. I've been calling for him to be in this starting 11. But it doesn't seem he's of the pecking order. It feels like he's maybe going on the Jaden Anthony route where he's getting sort of like 10 minutes per game. Okay, fine, that's an interesting negotiation. But what we know is Tanaka will be coming in as that double pivot. Now, he's not going to be a number 10. Leeds are hopefully still looking forward to that. Could he play it, looking forward for a signing there? Could he play as a number 10? I definitely think he could play as an advanced 8 further forward. But I'm not 100% sure he could play in that out-and-out number 10 role. So Leeds will definitely, in my opinion, still be hunting for a right midfielder, a right sort of winger, I should say, or a number 10. Now, if they do go for a number 10, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Willian Gnonto. I'd love to see Willian Gnonto in the 10 for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. But is that how Daniel Farke sees it? He's explosive. I think he's going to be attracting a hell of a lot of players to him, and then Leeds are going to be able to move in and around that. Now, if you get a proper right winger in there, in someone like Roland Salai, who, you know, there's conflicting reports on right now, it has to be said, or you just go out and get a Gus Hamer, shove Willian Gnonto wide right, and then put Hamer in that 10. My God, not only are you weakening your opponent there in Sheffield United, but what a signing that would be. What a signing. Top 3 champ midfielders, if not the best championship midfielder, coming in for about 17, 18 million quid, which I think might move the needle a little bit when it comes to Sheffield United. We've heard what Wilder said in terms of, Gus is absolutely fine. Gus is absolutely fine here. No problems here. So we'll have to wait and see how that develops. Could Leeds tempt him away? Are there midfielders that you could get for a cut price who maybe have as much of an impact on this Leeds United side? You look at Roland Salai, who'd come in probably for around about 10 million euros. Then you're looking at Gus Hamer, who's probably 18 and above. Some Sheffield United fans are saying, you know, for which leg, but I think the needle might be moved if his release clause was at that, because they've definitely had conversations in the past about him being around about that figure. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. What else is in the news, everybody? According to Graham Smith, there is going to be 3 more in. Now, they're expecting, look, there's no guarantees in football. We all know this, but they're expecting a fullback, of which I can pretty much, I can't guarantee anything whatsoever, but I pretty much am sure it's going to be Max Aarons. I'm sure of it. I really am sure of it. If it's Vindal, fantastic, and I probably think that's the better move if we are looking for a left back as well to cover Junior Firpo. You got Byram on that right hand side who's going to cover Jayden Bogle, but having Max Aarons in there, I've mentioned this on the videos before, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a mass amount of sense in having a player of that caliber on your bench. Like, are we moving away from Bogle and Firpo now? How are we doing this because Firpo's in his last 12 months of his contract potentially? But on that premise, I'd rather get Vindal, to be honest with you. I'd rather do that. I don't want to have Max Aarons, another right-footed player at left back. Is that how we're going to be going forward? It doesn't give us enough width, in my opinion. It's not Aarons' natural side. You know, we've had that with Spence, we've had that with Ayling in the past, we've had that with Dallas. You know, we've had this with so many players where they're right-footed and they go left back. I just don't like it. I've never liked it. Berardi been another one. So I'd just love us to go out and get a left back. So if you're asking me right now, what would I prefer? It'd be Vindal. I would prefer that right now. I think that move, obviously from the Dutch league, as an out-and-out left back is something that I would prefer. You know, on that right-hand side, you've got covering Byram, if worse comes to it. Although last season, he was probably better on the left, wasn't he? But if they want to get an out-and-out quality fullback, they could go for someone like Aarons, but once again, with Vindal, you're going to be paying half of that wage. You're going to be paying half of the wage of which they're going to be paying on Aarons. And as we already know, and as I spoke to you guys about the other night, I've said to you how much Solomon's earning on that loan. We need that to work, and touch wood, that does work, and I'm sure it will. But we need that to work. So yeah, it's all up in the air right now. But where would you guys want that third place to be? You know, that third place for me has got to be someone who is a statement signing. I think your statement signing comes in now when you're looking at the fullbacks. If you're looking at Vindal, if you're potentially looking, obviously, at maybe a Max Aarons, I think the statement signing, I think a lot of people are saying, well, Solomon's the statement signing. I can't say he's a statement signing because you can't just base it on calibre and quality, because the guy has missed 33 out of his last 38 games and has been out with 3 really, really serious injuries in his past 5 years. So I can't call that a statement signing because there's not been enough proof. There's people putting him on the right-hand side. He's played on the right-hand side, 5 times in 4 years, and they're putting him right wing. So he's played there before, but he's played there 5 times in 4 years. And when you've seen him for Fulham, when you've seen him for Spurs, he's been cutting in on that left, hasn't he? So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure it is the right move, if I'm being honest with you. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. I think the dream scenario would be, for me, if I'm being honest with you guys, it'd be Gus Hamer. I think that would be the dream one for me. But in a close, competitive second, it would be Roland Salai. And maybe the football stands would tell you that Salai has that upward ceiling in comparison, like a little bit more of an upward ceiling than someone like Gus Hamer. Hamer at 27, obviously Salai's in around that age still, but it's a bit more explosive out wide. But Hamer in this division, I mean, if Sheffield United keep hold of him, I think that's a top 2 definer. I genuinely believe that he's an ace card, an absolute ace card. As I've mentioned us with Phil Billing, he's someone that we should probably speak on as well. If they're able to do that, if that turns into a panic buy, I don't care. They can be panicking all day long for me. I don't care. I'm not bothered if that's a panic buy. Love Phil Billing. Absolutely love Phil Billing. Was obviously left out of Bournemouth's squad in their last match as well. So we'll wait and see on that one. There's been talks with him in Coventry, talks with him in Sheffield United. If Leeds were to panic, per se, and go in and buy someone like him, that would be lovely. But you wonder with this regime whether or not we're going to get panic buys. But in a strange sort of way, I kind of want us to panic buy at some point. If we get like Aarons in or Vindal, Tanaka we know is going to come in. And then if we look at another one, and we then panic buy for just a top player, I panic buy then. It's not my money. And look, I'm not pro Ridsdale there, and it sounds quite funny because, you know, Ridsdale had that mindset, didn't he, where it was just frivolous money-wise, but we're well in the green. We all know we're well in the green. And I think at the beginning of the season right now, if they want 3, there's a reason they want 3. Let's go get them. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. We'll be back at midday. I'll see you soon.